Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Krompiatek from Coley at Canisius College. Today we are going to focus on using the registration feature in Zoom. A relatively simple feature to set up, Zoom will create a web page where interested attendees can sign up for a particular Zoom meeting. You can ask questions of them or use any number of a list of preset questions that Zoom has set up already. When a registrant has signed up, you can have Zoom automatically approve them or get an email so you can manually approve them. This and more will be discussed later on. To set up registration in Zoom, you will need to go to canisius.zoom.us and sign in using your Canisius username and password. From there, you can select an existing meeting or select Schedule a Meeting to the right to schedule and edit settings for a new meeting. We will start from scratch and schedule a new meeting. I'll quickly give my meeting a name and a description. And then I'll scroll down to registration right here, which is under time zone and above meeting ID. They'll ask if I want the registration to be required, and I'll have a little checkbox. I will checkbox that. And I won't go through the rest of the settings because we have already gone through these settings in a previous video. Next, I'll just scroll all the way down to the bottom and hit the blue Save button. When this meeting overview page finally loads for you, you'll want to scroll down until you find registration link. I would right-click on that and click on Open Link in a new tab so that you can see any updates or changes that you've made to the registration page. If you want to see how the invitation will look like, you can click on Copy Invitation, and this will be the meeting invitation that will send users to your registration page that we will be setting up now. I'll hit Cancel for now. And let's take a look at our meeting registration page. As you can see, I've got a meeting registration, I've got the topic, which is the name of the Zoom meeting, which is test, the description of the Zoom meeting. I've also got the time of the Zoom meeting and the date. And this particular Zoom meeting seems to be grabbing my first name, my last name, and my email address. Let's go back to our Zoom meeting overview page and edit the registration page. I'll scroll down all the way to the bottom. And as you can see, we have a few different settings here. We've got registration, email settings, branding, and poll. We'll only be covering the registration settings in this video. If you're interested in checking out email settings, branding, or polling, we will cover those in separate videos. So let's take a look at the Manage Registrants. We won't really have too many things going on here, but we can see that we can search for the registrants by name or email, and we can see that there are several columns with information. We'll take a closer look at this later on. What we're really interested in for right now, though, is the registration options. And underneath View is Edit. When you click on Edit, a pop-up window will appear with our registration options, and you can see that we have different sections in this pop-up. We can see in the registration section that there is a subsection called Approval, and we can choose to either allow Zoom to automatically approve registrants, or we can choose to manually approve registrants. I'll choose manually approve registrants, and this is what we recommend so that you have tighter control over who is registered for your meeting. You can also choose to have Zoom send you a notification to the host when someone registers. This is also recommended so that you know when people are registering and you can go in and quickly approve them. Under notification is other options. I would highly recommend checkboxing close registration after event date. This way people won't get confused and accidentally register for an event that has already passed. You can also choose to allow attendees to join from multiple devices. For example, that can be from a laptop or a mobile device in case for some reason they don't have a microphone or a video on their laptop. I would also deselect Show Social Share buttons on registration page. These social share buttons are these buttons up here if we go back to our meeting registration page, and I'll go back to the Zoom meeting overview. I can click on Save All now, but I won't do that just yet as I have a couple of other changes I want to make. I'll go to Questions next. First name and email address are not in the list of fields that you can select. That's because as Zoom puts up front here, first name and email address are required fields. You have to put in your first name and your email address at the very least. As we can also see, last name, while also a default, is not necessarily required. So I'll make it required here. But you can also ask registrants for their address, the city, country, or region, zip code, postal code, and so on and so forth. And of more use for a lot of webinars or other events is the question and comments. So I'll make sure that that is selected, but I'll leave it not required. I'll go to custom questions. The final section is custom questions. This will allow you to create your own questions, which if you've used Zoom's polling feature before, is very similar. Bear in mind that Zoom has certain restrictions on these questions, and you are prohibited from asking registrants for personal information, including credit card information or social security numbers. To get a new question started, I'll click on the new question button on the left. I'll type in a new question for right now, and I will just do a quick single answer. I'll make it unrequired. Answer 1. And we will leave it at these 3 answers. If I want to create another answer, I can click on Add Another Answer. And since I'm done with this question specifically, I'll click on the blue Create button in the bottom left-hand corner. As you can see, I've got a quick overview of the question. I can delete it or make it a required question. I'll leave it unrequired for right now. And if I need to, I can add a new question by simply clicking on the New Question button in the left side. I'm going to quickly go through and check my settings again, make sure that everything looks fine, and I'll click on Save All. When I do that, I'll be sent back to the Zoom overview screen, and I can get a quick overview of my registration options that I've selected. I'll go back to the meeting registration, and I will reload that by hitting Control-Shift-R, or I can reload by clicking on this circular icon here. When that is reloaded, as you can see, the social media buttons have disappeared, although I still have my topic, my description, and the time. I've got first name, last name, email address, and I also have my custom question here and my questions and comments here. I'll click on Register so that I can register for this event. And it will send me to this page saying Meeting Registration Pending Approval. Your registration for this meeting has been submitted to the host for approval. You will receive an email regarding your registration status. If I want to, or if I accidentally registered for this meeting, I can click on Cancel. So I just got the email from Zoom saying that someone has registered for my meeting. It's very simple. It will say hi, whatever your username is, a person, and it'll give me the user's first name and last name, as well as their email address that they registered with, has registered for this specific meeting, and it will give me a time. So now that I know that, I can go back to the overview page. And although it doesn't say that I have any registrants or approved registrants, that's because I have to reload the page really quickly. So I'll do that now. All right, so now instead of saying Manage Registrants, Registrants 1, Approved 0, and instead of saying View, I can click on Edit. So these are pending approval, approved, and denied. If I want to, I can click on the user's name, and that will actually give me more information on things that they filled out. So if they filled out the comments and questions section, their comments or questions will be here. If they filled out the How did you hear about this event, that will also be here. And I can also approve them from right here by clicking on Approve. Or if I know I want to approve them without even looking at this, I can click on Back, select the checkbox to the left of their name, and click on Approve. Now we have one approved. We've got this green light saying that you've approved one registrant to attend the meeting. And I might receive another email relatively soon. There we go. And here is the confirmation email for the registrant. It says, thank you for registering for test. Please submit any questions to this email address here. It'll give the user the date and time, If they need to join from any device, they can click the link here to join, or if they want to add it to a calendar, they can add it to a calendar. And there's also other choices here. They also have the option to cancel as well. If you're interested in seeing this, as my email address is set up slightly differently than most email addresses, you can actually go to email settings here and click on send me a preview email for the confirmation email. So it'll say sent, and now I might be getting a confirmation email. And there we go. Very similar. Obviously the username changed so that this was my Zoom account username and this one is the test user. That's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at helpdesk@canisius.edu. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.